Well, the Bengals did it. They take Ja'Marr Chase with the 5th overall pick on Thursday night in the 2021 NFL Draft as Cincinnati gets their man. The 21-year-old obviously had record-breaking season with Joe Burrow back in 2019, and he was all smiles. The Bengals were all smiles. If you missed Zach Taylor's press conference or offensive coordinator Brian Callahan or Ja'Marr Chase himself, well, you need to check those out right now, right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. But wait. There's some good news. There's plenty of good news. Let's break down this pick first and then get into why they passed on Penei Sewell in day 2 of the NFL Draft. First, the Bengals are getting a strong, physical, tough wide receiver. And that's what I keep trying to tell people, because there are a lot of people out there that are saying, oh, the Bengals are going for the toy, the luxury, the thing they don't need. Well, they needed a Ja'Marr Chase. Absolutely. A downfield threat, an explosive threat, a guy that can take the top off the defense. People forget that Joe Burrow, when he threw it 61 times against the Cleveland Browns in week 2 last year, he had to complete 37 of those balls just to get over the 300-yard mark. Very low rate of downfield throws. They could not get the ball downfield. A lot of that had to do with just not having guys that can do that, can separate downfield. Part of it was the offensive line, which again, we'll get to, but part of it was also Ja'Marr Chase and not having someone like him. So they take him, they're ecstatic about it. He's obviously extremely confident. I loved when he said, hey, I'm going to break Chad Johnson and AJ Green's records. I'm coming for him. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. The kid is extremely, extremely confident and ready to go. And one thing he did mention is that Joe Burrow on Thursday morning told him to pack his bags and get ready. And so you got a feeling that we knew, by the way, but Joe certainly knew that Ja'Marr Chase was going to be the pick. And again, just a stud receiver. Brian Callahan said that he was the top player on their board. So when you look at it, we've been debating it for months, right? Penei Sewell, Ja'Marr Chase, Penei Sewell. Well, the Bengals, they didn't view it that way. Not that they didn't really like Penei Sewell, but it was Ja'Marr Chase, Penei Sewell. And that's why they went the route they did, because he fills a need. He certainly can help Joe Burrow, make Joe Burrow's life easier. And this is a really a game-breaking, game-changing wide receiver. Brian Callahan said that he's the best receiver in the past 3 draft classes, very comparable to Julio Jones and AJ Green as prospects. And then Zach Taylor said that he's one of the best wide receivers he's ever evaluated. It just all lines up. And then the icing on top of and then the cherry on top of the icing is Joe Burrow and that connection and how these guys put together this historical season in 2019 at LSU, and now they can join forces again in Cincinnati, and they're going to try to recreate that. Here's what I do know. We know Joe Burrow has a chip on his shoulder. So does Ja'Marr Chase. You could tell it. You could tell he was confident, but not cocky. Confident in the fact that he's going to put the work in and push forward and try to be as good as he can be. Now, as far as passing on Penei Sewell, was it a risk? Yeah, it was, because you don't know how the draft board's going to fall. With that being said, I think it fell perfectly for the Bengals. There are guys there that I was not expecting to be there, whether it's a Teven Jenkins, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma State. Jenkins, 6'5", 315 pounds. He's a first-round player. He's 24th on Dane Brugler's board, 21st on the Athletic Consensus board, in the 20s for Pro Football Focus. Teven Jenkins, if he somehow falls, and I don't think he's going to, by the way, but if he somehow falls to 38, you run that pick up there, you don't think twice, I don't care who else is there, it doesn't matter, because Teven Jenkins is a first-round player, and that's what we're looking at here, is I think the Bengals are going to be able to get a lineman, an offensive lineman, that they have a first-round grade on at pick 38. And if it's not Teven Jenkins, maybe it's Dillon Radunz. Dillon Radunz from North Dakota State, 35-inch arms, really long wingspan, was the player of the week at the Senior Bowl. He's still available. He was getting plenty of first-round buzz. Would not be shocked at all if that's the pick at 38. And I'm going to give you my pick at 38 coming up in just a minute here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Other names to watch at pick 38 from an offensive line standpoint: Liam Eichenberg, certainly a guy I think that could be in play. To me, more of a guard out of Notre Dame, even though he played tackle. But he's tough kid, 32.5-inch arms, probably plays right guard for the Bengals in 2021, which is fine because guess what? That's what they need. If they're going to keep Joe Burrow upright, you need to find someone to play that right guard spot. And by the way, if they draft Jenkins, if they draft Radunz, probably the same case, same scenario here. And I have a list of guys. I mean, Landon Dickerson still available, and that's someone from a medical standpoint has question marks. From a talent standpoint, easily, just talent-wise, will be the best player available at 33, at 34, at 35, at 36, at 37. I mean, first-round grade. I mean, maybe Jenkins is ahead of him on some boards, but he's a high-end player, and the medicals are the only concerning thing. Other guys, Sam Cosmi out of Texas, I'm shocked he's still there too. I mean, that's a guy. So think about it. There are only 5 picks ahead of the Bengals. They're picking 6th in this round. They alternate with the Eagles. So they picked 5th last round, 6th round 2, 5th pick of round 3. Cosmi, Radunz, Eichenberg, Jenkins. There's 4. You're essentially guaranteed one of those because I guarantee you one of these wide receivers goes, right? The kid out of Ole Miss, Elijah Moore. I can't believe the Green Bay Packers passed on him. What nonsense they are. I don't blame Aaron Rodgers for being angry because Elijah Moore's staring at them and they go with a cornerback. It was a reach anyway, and Eric Stokes. But this is not a Packers channel. This is a Bengals channel. So the Bengals can benefit because I think Elijah Moore will be one of those first 5 picks of the second round. And so if that's the case, along with maybe some of these edge rushers, Azeez Ojulari from Georgia, Christian Barmore still there, you want all those guys to go. Personally, that's where I'm at. Want all those guys to go. And I know some are like, oh, well, maybe you take the edge at 38. No, let's get the best offensive lineman available at 38. And there are a lot of guys available, but this is the prime value. You take Chase at 5, best player available. At 38, one of these offensive linemen, I'm betting, is going to be the top and at the top of the Bengals board. Maybe it's Eichenberg. Maybe they have him ranked 30th on their board or 25th on their board. Maybe they have Dillon Radunz ranked 21st on their board. Teven Jenkins 15th on their board. I don't know exactly what their board looks like, but I'm betting it's an offensive lineman at 38. Some other names to watch on day 2 Friday night include Walker Little. Like some of these other guys like a Landon Dickerson, there are some concerns injury-wise. He hasn't really played since 2018. So to me, Walker Little, more of a round 3 than round 2 guy. And who knows, maybe falls to round 4 just because there's so many question marks. He's certainly a tackle. Creed Humphrey, a guy I could see the Bengals either trading back in round 2 and never rule out a trade down with the Bengals in round 2. I could certainly see them at least entertaining that. Or if they're not going to trade back in round 2, if Humphrey somehow falls to round 3, Quinn Meinerz in that same mold, and you get the point. Lineman. And I'm just going to rattle off even more here, whether it's a Jalen Mayfield out of Michigan, Spencer Brown, Ben Cleveland. I think I have most of them covered, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Brady Christensen, BYU, and another one, Wyatt Davis, Ohio State. I mean, lineman on lineman. I didn't even get to my guy, Stone Forsythe, who I think is a great 4th-round flyer out of Florida. Perfect tackle prospect, especially if they go with an Eichenberg in round 2, maybe a defensive lineman in round 3. You take a guy like Stone Forsythe round 4 if he's there, or Walker Little. You feel really good about this remade offensive line. So don't fret, Bengals fans. If you were on Team Sewell, it's okay because there are plenty of offensive linemen available. And if you're on Team Chase, guess what? Don't be mean to the Team Sewell people because you want what they want, which is to build a winner, to keep Joe Burrow upright, to give Joe Burrow all the tools he needs. And that's what the draft should be about over the next couple of days. Let's build around Burrow. That's what I would do. If I'm the Bengals, build around Burrow. And if it means passing on an edge rusher, passing on a corner, passing on, insert whatever defensive position, they spend a hell of a lot of money on defense. It's time to address that offense and make sure Joe Burrow is nice and comfy back there, throwing to his 3-headed monster of Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. What a perfect trio, right? What a perfect trio. Joe Mixon, excited about it, says, you're not stacking the box anymore. His tweets were hilarious on Thursday night. Obviously, Tyler Boyd reacted, DJ Reader reacted, Joe Burrow reacted. So it was certainly a fun night, I think, for the Bengals offense and just the thought process behind it. So here's what I know. Cincinnati Bengals Talk has got you covered all weekend long, all draft long. We're going to have analysis. We're going to have picks. We're going to have news conferences. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. And if you're not, thank you so much. everybody for watching. This channel continues to grow, and it's all because of you. Also, check out allbengals.com if you're looking for the written word. I got a ton of articles up. There's going to be a ton more. Nicole Zembro wrote a great article. My guy Russ Heltman wrote one. I think Blake Jewell's going to write one. And one more thing here before we go. Shout out to my guy Andrew Fox Miller helping me out. Follow him on Twitter at Andrew Fox Miller. My guy's been crushing it on the channel. He's the one who designs most of the thumbnails, does a lot of the editing for this channel, deals with my nonsense as we try to get this stuff off the ground. And who knows, we may even go live this weekend at some point during the draft. Don't rule it out. Hey, don't rule it out. So until next time, Bengals fans, thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.